Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So a lot of you asked for a hair tutorial or a makeup tutorial in my latest live chat session, which was so much fun, and I decided to combine them all into one video where I show you how I get ready on a typical day of self-isolation. You all know, if you've watched my videos for a while, that I'm normally very disciplined about my time, but I've tried to be gentle to myself during these particular times, and so I have a no pajamas afternoon rule, which means that I went to wash my hair and start to get ready after I had a late breakfast, so around 11, and I went ahead and used some of my favorite products. So I've had this routine where I wash my hair twice a week always, pretty much, and I've been switching between the Kenra shampoo, which is volumizing, and the Caviar shampoo, which is nourishing. So today I use the Kenra one, and then I always use the Macadamia Repair Mask, and I do think it's a big part of why I don't have too many split ends despite badly needing a haircut. I've been treating myself to the Jo Malone shower gel after finishing off my Trader Joe's shower oil, and the Wood Sage and Sea Salt is amazing. It's probably my favorite that I've ever tried in terms of smell of shower gel. Then comes the boring stuff: put on my contacts, brush my teeth, deodorant and moisturizer. So I've been loving this oil from Trader Joe's, which is the lemongrass one. I'm big into body oils, so I also plan to repurchase a slightly more luxurious one after I finish this one, but I've been really liking it. The consistency is nice, and I feel like it doesn't leave anything oily, which is what you want. You want more of a dry oil consistency. And then I usually apply two skin products to my face. The first is the Olay Daily Moisturizer, which has SPF in it, and it's really light, really nice. It's my mom's favorite, so I've been trying it. And then in my hair, because I did that before I did my second skin product, I put the CC cream in from Alterna. This is a switch for me. I haven't used this before, and I have a generous sample that I am scared of running out of because I love it so much. I feel like it really softens and smooths my hair really nicely. It has a really nice light smell. It doesn't make my hair greasy despite really moisturizing the ends. I don't know why I'm showing you my towel, other than that I bought myself fancy bougie towels and am really happy with them. So the second face product I apply and really let sink in that I find makes a difference is the Cora Eye Oil. Why not do a little spa treatment if you can while you're stuck at home? So I apply this every day to my under eye and any dry spots on my face as well. So then I reach for my usual comfy loungewear. So I have my Barefoot Dreams cardigan on repeat, a comfy tank, which was really cheap. I got a big pack of them to wear every day, and my usual Lululemon leggings. For makeup, I haven't been wearing makeup every day, but if I have a meeting or a Zoom catch-up, I do like to put a little bit on. And I have a few tips for you who may be using Zoom, because I find that you can get away with less makeup, but you want it to be more brightening, because there's something about the camera that really causes any darkness in makeup to show up more. So I really like to do a nice glowy light makeup routine. So the first step is to even everything out a bit using my Clinique BB, but I apply a thinner layer than I usually would, so even some imperfections, you can see I've had some breakouts around my face for whatever reason. I don't worry too much about completely covering them, because I find the resolution on Zoom isn't so good that you can tell little imperfections are there. I just put a little bit more concealer on. The Clé de Peau is great just to mask any redness, and then I just don't worry about it too much. Then I have my Nars Eye Primer, so nothing creases, because the next step is what makes all the difference. A lot of you guys were wondering if I'd been doing something differently with my makeup routine. For the most part, these are products I've been using and loving for years, but I have tried a new product for my under eye and eyelid area. So this powder is the Armani one. I set everything lasts all day. I never touch it up. And then I got a sample of this Anastasia brow gel, which I really like. It's the only thing I do to my brows. They are microbladed, so that helps as well. I've been tweezing them myself and not doing too much with them, just essentially setting them with a little bit of gel, but I like the color of this one. I feel like it matches my brows really well. So here's a new product that I find very brightening. So it's a real cheapie. I'll link it down below. It has this wonderful rosy color to it, and since I wear the eye primer from Nars, I don't find that it creases on the eyelid at all, but it really brightens any darkness that I have there, so that I find that I need less eyeshadow, less eye makeup in general. And I just go ahead and buff it in with my beauty blender all over the eye area. I'm not too careful with it, but somehow it gives me a really nice awake look, and then all I need is just a bit of shimmery shadow to top it. So I really like the Monroe shade from this Natasha Denona palette. It's a perfect rose gold. It's really awakening as well. It looks really pretty. You can just see a little bit of shimmer from it on camera, so again, I think it's a nice natural effect. Then I just go in with the ivory shade a little bit on the brow bone and inner eye corner, just to add a little bit of extra brightness. And then I use a little bit of the buff shade in the crease, but as opposed to other makeup tutorials that I've done in the past, I don't take a lot of care or put a lot on. I just essentially deposit a little tiny bit of color in the outer crease and then buff most of it away with a big fluffy brush until it's just the slightest bit of shadow, and that's all I do. I don't use any darker products or anything like that. And then what I try and do is finish the rest of my face before doing eyeliner, so I end up putting a little bit less of that on as well. So I do a little bit of Orgasm blush from Nars, and then I really like this Rosewood Dior Rosy Glow Balm. I also really love the Charlotte Tilbury New Balm, so I'll link both down below because I've been alternating them. Then I use a little bit of highlighter from Becca because why not? Again, I'm going for that glowy look. And then I just do a tiny line on the outer half of my eye, which is a bit less eyeliner than I would normally wear. And again, I don't worry about it too much, about having it be perfect. I usually would top it with some shadow, but I haven't even been bothering with that too much, just keeping it really simple. I think glowy, pretty eye looks like this might be the way of the future. As we go out with masks, we're not going to bother with a lot of face or lip makeup, so that may be what we wear more for Zoom chats, and then just a pretty defined eye like this is kind of what I'm going to be wearing. So I use two different mascaras. I love the Lancome Hypnose for the formula, but then I still have a tube of Maybelline The Rocket on the go, and so I use the brush from that to really separate each lash and get the little persnickety ones at the outer corners, and it's kind of the best of both worlds. It's my favorite mascara combo that I've ever used, so I really like how it looks. And overall, I think it's just a nice, easy, glowy face look. I don't usually do my face makeup out here at the dining room table, and so what I tend to do is to do it in the terrible lighting in the bathroom and then come out and add a tiny bit more blush. I love the Dior Rosy Glow for that. It just adds a nice brightness and health to the face. And then I blend everything in with the same brush that I used for the setting powder, just to essentially get that lit from within kind of glow and make sure that it's not too bright. Then comes lunchtime, and I usually like to let my hair air dry as much as possible, so I'll make lunch. And today I really wanted to have a good French omelet because I rewatched that movie 100 Foot Journey, which is on Netflix. It's a really cute movie, and the test essentially for the chef in that movie is to make an omelet with no browning, which is apparently how a lot of Michelin starred restaurants test their chefs. So I tried to achieve that, and it turned out very delicious. I did add a little bit of cheese, which you're not supposed to, but I had it, so I mean, who can be mad about a little bit of cheese in the middle of an omelet? And I really tried to keep the heat low and sometimes even lift the pan off of the heat because I have gas, so it's hard to control it, to ensure that it wasn't brown. And it really surprised me in terms of how delicious it was. It was not too runny, not too done, just perfect, and the flavor of the eggs really came through. I had it with an everything bagel, half with the omelet and half with some blackberry jam. If some of you guys are from Seattle, since I've moved here, blackberry jam is everywhere in restaurants and I really missed it, so I bought a jar, and it wasn't as good, but it was still really pretty good, so I had that on the other half of the bagel for a savory and sweet combo. Time to do my hair, which I kind of usually delay until it's pretty dry, like I would say 95% dry. So I put on some heat protectant to make sure that I don't fry my ends too much, since a haircut is not an option. And then I use this absolutely terrible blow dryer that my furnished place came with, just to make sure that the roots are completely dry, because if you still have humidity in your roots and you have frizzy wavy hair like I do, there's no point in styling it because that dampness will ruin your style. So I really focus the heat on the root area, just to get that dampness out. You can see there's still a little bit of dampness from the heat protectant in the ends, but that's okay because that's essentially just the heat protectant doing its job. The difference between this tutorial and every other tutorial I've done with my GHDs, which is always what I use to curl my hair, is that I'm intentionally doing a bad job for a more effortless look. So with every chunk of hair, so I divide my hair into 3 parts, and then every part gets divided into 4 parts. So these are very big chunks of hair for me because I have a lot of hair. I go over it about twice with the iron. I don't use a comb like I usually would. So these are very big chunks of hair, and I kind of pull it apart with my hands almost right away while it's still hot. I don't really focus on the roots too much either, since I know that they're dry, and the end result is a much looser, less perfect look than I have ever done. And I have to say, I think this is something I might take with me out of quarantine, because I've always focused on having such perfect hair, but I think there's something a little bit more natural about this result. Those of us who have frizzy hair tend to be so focused on getting every strand perfectly smooth, but if you leave a little bit of your hair more undone, less perfect, use bigger chunks of hair, don't worry about every single piece being perfect, you end up with a little bit more volume and a bit more of a natural look, which I have been really, really loving. So that's what I did. This is intentionally imperfect, and keep in mind as well, what's at the back of my mind at least, is that if I'm on Zoom chats, nobody sees the back of my head, and if I am going out, I usually put my hair back in a bun so that I don't touch my face, so there's no point to having it be too perfect. One thing I've been enjoying too is having the pieces around my face, which are a little bit long since I need a haircut, be a little bit straighter as well, so I don't have as many curls around my face, and again, it's a bit more of this kind of beachy, undone kind of look that I don't feel like needs to look too perfect, because over the next couple of days it'll get smoother as well as I sleep on it. So I wash my hair every 3 days or so, and on the second day it'll look smoother than on the first day, and then on the third day I might put it up and have it out of my face, and it works out really, really well. So I wanted to share it with you. It's not really a proper technique, really more me showing you how to do a bad job and not worry about it too much. But I do finish it with a product that's really good. I tend to only put it on when I'm going outside because it is a moisture protector, so you don't really need it inside. But as a general life tip outside of these circumstances, it is very, very good at keeping frizz at bay. I always put my jewelry on after I finish using all hair products because hairspray can really damage pearls. So these items are from my newest launch, from the Nouvelle Pearl collection. I'm wearing the Aurora pendant on the wheat chain, which is actually clip pendant, so you can put it on any necklace, including a strand of pearls. And I just love how the tone of this pearl changes. So it looks a little bit more peachy with this lavender cardigan I have on, but then it also has tones of kind of warm pink and lavender and even blue reflex going on through it, as do the matching earrings. And everything is still 10% off for today only, and then we're going back to regular pricing, and I'm working on another exciting launch after today. A lot of you have asked me about my nails, so here's me touching up my thumb where I took a chunk off of the nail polish with my pliers by accident while making jewelry. This is the Deborah Lippmann essentially gel-like set, but you can remove it with normal acetone so it behaves like normal polish, but I find that it does wear a lot longer. You can kind of see my nails don't look perfect. They're a bit lumpy because I still have a bit of gel underneath that I wasn't able to scrape off, but the combination of the Deborah Lippmann polish plus this pink armor top coat You can see my nails have been done before I did that touch up, and this is 4 days in. So I'm pretty impressed with it because normal nail polish on me, because I'm hard on my hands with cooking and making jewelry, would not usually last that well or look that good a couple of days in. So I don't know if you guys are bugging your pets as much as I am. It seems to be a psychotic habit for me to play with them and bother them while they're trying to sleep and while I am doing my work right next to them, always present mysteriously according to our felines, I'm sure. So I hope you're all doing well. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again in my next live chat on Sunday. Let me know what time would be good for you. We can change the time if there's a better time than what we did before. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy this form of contact with all of you and have been so enjoying our discussions on Instagram and just getting to know you all through this time. It seems like a fun silver lining to have that communication. So stay well, and I will see you soon.